It is with heavy hearts that we are here today. Just like everybody else, I'm still in disbelief. September the 5th, when I got the phone call, and I had to redirect myself to go to Quan's home, I was shaking. I was scared, but I was also praying on that ride. Upon my arrival, they were bringing Quan out the house. And I asked, could I ride with them? And they said, no, you can't ride. So I went in the house and I told Amber, I think you should get ready and go to the hospital. I'll stay back with Leor. Duke and Koya proceeded. As I was in there, I was praying because something came over me. I was nervous and scared because I was just thinking about what if? And I got the confirmation that my son had transitioned. Not only my son, but my best friend. We didn't get it right every time, but we gave it the best every time. I grew up without my biological father. And when I was a kid, I made a promise to myself and to God that if I ever had kids, one question my kid or kids would never have, and that's what my dad is. Because I had that question as a child. My grandmother and grandfather gave me everything wasn't nailed down. I was spoiled. But I still wanted to know where was my dad. From the day I met Quan and I held him, my life changed. I knew failure was not an option, but little did Quan know, he pushed me even harder to be a dad, to be a role model, and to be an example is what a man should be, built upon integrity, morals, and values. In this industry, finances play a big part. But because of the morals and values that we instilled in him, me and Tammy, a lot of things we turned down because it didn't feel morally right. The love that has been displayed these past days for our son, brother, dad, whatever he may have been to you, it's been immeasurable. It's like now when I hear a Rich Homie Quan song, it sounds different to me. I was looking at Channel 2 News a week ago and they mentioned the word Rich Homie Quan. And the lady said, he's an Atlanta icon. I just looked up at God and said, God, I thank you. Transition is inevitable for all of us. And I know that that day is gonna come where I'll see him again. Right now, I'm waiting on him just to come and say, Dad, I'm okay. I used to tell people I live day by day. Now I live second by second. I was taught as a kid, men don't cry. that's a sign of being weak or you soft. But as I got older, I realized that crying is a sign of pain. And Lord knows I'm in pain. Somebody asked me the other day, how you doing? I said, I don't even know how I'm doing. But I know that God's grace and mercy is keeping us here. There are times since I lost my son, I don't know what to do. Prime example, when me and his mother had to go make arrangements, I buried a lot of my family members. I know the process. But as we were walking through the funeral home in the casket room, I stopped and said, what are we doing here? And Tammy looked at me and said, Corey, we're not supposed to be here. So when we left, the Spirit touched me and just said, hey, this is a bit too much for you, because I'm emotional. I lost my best friend. I lost a kid I talked to 9, 10 times a day. Pop, if he just want to talk. Dad, if he needs something. I mean, like, I was his protector. I would do anything to protect this kid. And I used to tell him all the time, you know, so much go on that you don't even know about, because we love you. Dre texts me all the time. Monte texting, what we doing, and I have to find a solution, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of those times, all I could do is pray and ask God to help us. So when I look at, like, when they sent me the obituary and I glanced at it on my phone, I didn't look at it long. I said, this kid has accomplished a great deal at a young age. And to be honest, being in the trenches, you don't realize that. But once you see it, like, compelled, you know, like, on a piece of paper, you'd be like, this kid really did his thing, man. I'm humbled to have been his dad. One of the last conversations we had, I was asking him some questions, and I said, have some of my life or how I live my life impact the decisions you make? And I said, be honest. And he said, Dad, you know, as a kid, a child's first hero is his dad. And he said, we as kids tend to do what we see. And if I have to answer you truthfully, yes. He told me, he said, yes. The pain that I feel right now is immeasurable, man. I feel as though I've been broken into a million pieces. But I'm reminded that I know a man that'll put me back together one piece at a time, over time. To the fans, to the family, to the loved ones, I thank you all for taking time out of your day to be here with us and to pay respects to my son. And I'm gonna leave y'all with a little story, because everybody a little somber. And I know people have been feeling sad for us, but like Dre said, we're gonna figure it out. It's a time and place for everything. Right now, it's a time for us to mourn. It's okay. It's okay. Jesse Jackson said it might be dark now, but the morning got to come. It's coming. We don't know when and where. So I drank a little Ciroc. Forgive me, church. Had some bottles of Ciroc down at the apartment downtown. And I usually buy them because I just like the pretty bottles. But whenever I want to have me a drink, I have me a little drink. So I was down there one evening, Ciroc sitting over there on the counter looking good, grabbed me a glass and poured me some Ciroc. and put some juice in it. So I went to take a drink. I said, man, this tastes real. I ain't no drinker, but I said, this tastes real weak, man. So I called Duke. Duke, man, you did something to the Ciroc? He said, no, Dad, I ain't touched no Ciroc. So I called Quan. I said, Quan, you did something to the Ciroc, man. He started laughing. So I said, man, what you do? He said, man, I was down there one night. All my brown was gone. That Ciroc was calling my name, man. I said, you drunk all my Ciroc, man? He said, Dad, I drunk all of it. He said, man, but the crazy part about it, that was 3 months ago. He said, I've been waiting on this call for 3 months, man. So he said, man, I owe you some Ciroc, man. But he took and put water back in my bottle to make it look like it was full. You know what I'm saying? But I just say to my son, man, you consider me to be your hero, but I wish I would have told you that you were my hero. Your sacrifices, your endurance, your strength carried us. I would be on there on Thursdays and Fridays and see you, and then to see videos on a Saturday of how you were, you know, a whole different person once you were on stage. So before I leave, I want to say this. Me and Quan used to ask each other for favors here and there. And I have one more favor I want to ask you, son. I know you're up there in heaven looking down on us. If you don't mind, save a spot for me.